understand that you spoke to the FBI about Shin a year ago, when you were swatted by the church, but then got ghosted by authorities. So what's going on?
This is a long time coming. I'd say more than just my report to the FBI. There was several reports. In fact, I know as far back as March or April of 2022, former members were reporting that they had reported him to the IRS. And they were reporting him to the IRS because he was converting and converging money through his taking donations through the church and then siphoning that out into his for-profit businesses, which is a crime. And he was using tax-free money to start for-profit companies. And so they sat with the IRS back in 2022. I mean, those were the first meetings with the IRS. And then there was multiple FBI reports, the Wilking family. There has been multiple former members that are not as visible that have reported him to the FBI. There have been calls to the Department of Labor. Obviously, there's an ongoing case, a civil case, which prompted a report to the California Labor Department, but also to the EEOC. So, and the mail fraud this is just the tip of the iceberg, let's just say.
Okay, I mean, that was a long list of agencies that came on this raid. It happened a couple of days ago. We're looking at these aerials of some of the raids. And it's interesting to note that all these people that were out in cuffs, nobody apparently was arrested. So that's interesting. I mean, maybe they got what they needed and off they went. I'm not sure. It was Shin. Do we know exactly where Shin was?
Yeah, so the property that was raided is actually the one that they saw on camera. That's the Tujunga property. So it has an entire school that's there. It used to be a Christian school that Robert purchased in 2020, and he was going to convert it into a church. And then off to the side of that house, that white building that you see there, that's actually like an apartment/house. And he has a bunch of his members living there, none of them related, some of them with kids, and they're all just housed there. So the people that you saw detained on the news were his son, Isaiah, one of his deputies or mentors, Shirley, who was sitting with a baby. There was Matthew Shin, who's another mentor. There was Young Bin Kim, who's a two-time convicted armed robber, and then Luke Song, and then Geo. So these are just members. Robert was actually at his home in Porter Ranch. So Robert owns like a $2 million home with about 5,000 square feet. He and his wife, Hannah, who's his third, maybe fourth wife, third within this church, 22 years younger than him, they live in a home by themselves. And then he houses all of the members like rats. And
wow,
they live.
This is wild. I mean,
Yeah.
This is wild. I mean, first of all, the fact that you know all of those names of everybody that we're looking on the screen, it sounds like when we were covering the Diddy case and like everybody knew the family members coming out, but different story, of course. Members, members were told to recruit more people. I want to get into, what this is about, because not everybody has seen the Netflix doc and not everybody knows about the reporting, but members that were in this group, and again, these are allegations that there have been no charges here, but people are coming out and being public now saying that there were reports of people working as mentors. They were told to go out and recruit. Tell us a little bit more about that.
So this church has been going on for like 25 plus years. Robert's had several iterations of it. So it's not just like brand new. He's recently got into the TikTok world by recruiting these dancers, but Robert has for many years run a cult-like organization. And what you see today is the product of Robert having to hide from his past, because back in 2008, he had a very large group of young people working for him, and he was accused by no less than 6 women of sexual assault. And in 2008, that church ended up splitting. And so he was left with like half the church and the other half went with his sister. And then he changed his name from Israel Shin to Robert Shin, and he added an N to the end of his name. So his name is actually Robert Shin with one N, and now he's Robert Shin with 2 N's.
Okay.
So every single time something blows up, he ends up changing his identity and he moves. And so this Tujunga property is like the 3rd or 4th place he's been, because he has to keep moving. And every single time he moves, he has to get more and more secretive. So today's iteration of it is so much more isolated for the members. It's not just dancers that are involved in this. There are invisible human beings that are being labor trafficked, sex trafficked. They're having their entire lives controlled. He is dangerous.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.